LillyTino is an American TikToker who's most well known for his unhinged reactions to the truth, talking about transitioning while around little kids, and so much more. Throughout TikTok's existence, there have been thousands of transgender creators, but despite all the competition, LillyTino has managed to rise to the top of everyone's shit list. Let's find out why. LillyTino, formerly known as Nick Contino, was born January 31st, 1993 in Atlanta, Georgia. And from what I can see, Nick was blessed with a pretty accepting family. So much so that he was playing hours of video games every day by the time he was 5 years old. According to a WeWork article about Nick, his love for video games first became apparent in the year 1998 when his grandfather gifted him Pokemon Blue. This gift sparked his interest in games and a few years later became an outlet for his gender dysphoria, because despite his accepting family, the kids at school were not as nice and picked on him quite a bit. This led to Nick spending more and more time inside playing video games by himself. He told WeWork that the only way he could, quote, escape from it all was by playing as a girl character in World of Warcraft. Because of his gender dysphoria and loneliness, Nick began abusing his prescribed Klonopin, and he says he became a full-on addict for a while, but ended up getting clean a few years before leaving Atlanta. Now that you know about Nick's life before TikTok, let's take a look at all the dumb shit he said and done after joining TikTok. The LillyTino TikTok account made its first upload on November 15th of 2022. In this post, Nick showcased his entire transition and gave thanks to those involved. For the first year or so, Nick was creating videos for a pretty niche audience and hadn't really been exposed to mainstream TikTok yet. But on March 9th of 2023, he uploaded a video of some retarded drunk old lady yelling at him in the middle of a cheesecake factory.
You know I'm a TERF, right? Trans, eccentric, radical feminist.
Are you a TERF?
I'm a TERF.
Wow.
Would you like me to move somewhere else? I will.
No, actually, you should tell me about being a TERF.
You're a boy, right? Don't fuck with me, because honestly, I did hard.
I'd like to see you try it.
Well then, don't judge me for being a TERF. I get to be who I want to be, you get to be who you want to be, right? If that's what you want, to be who you want to be, then I get to be who I want to be.
Which is?
I'm not a witch.
You're not a witch.
You know what? Take your stupid dog, eat your fucking food, and get the fuck out of my life, okay?
This is a first.
Because otherwise they have to label you a white racist.
I see.
You're a 70-year-old minority woman. You're a racist. You want your rights? I want mine too.
Excuse me. Could you grab the manager, please?
I'm so terribly sorry. I'll definitely be escalating. I'll apologize about that treatment.
As of today, that video has over 16 million views and is his second biggest video of all time, which makes complete sense because that woman yelling from across the room was so drunk and stupid sounding that you just couldn't look away. Personally, I tend to listen to biology when it comes to all the trans women are women stuff, but I also think that yelling across a restaurant at someone who seemingly is minding their own business is very I'm assuming that woman was just blackout wine drunk, but either way, she somehow managed to look dumber than Nick during that interaction. That wouldn't last for long though, because 4 months later in July, Nick made a video explaining why if you don't support being called cisgender as a normal person, then you're transphobic.
Yesterday, someone told me that they support transgender people, but they don't like being called cisgender. So what does it even mean to be cisgender anyways? Think of it this way. When you're born, you're assigned one of two different pairs of shoes. These shoes determine how you walk through the world, and the shoe you're given is an educated guess based on your body parts. So you can imagine that it's really important that these shoes fit. And for many people, they fit perfectly fine, and that's great. But for some people, the shoes they were given don't fit, and every step they take is painful. People who need to transition from one pair of shoes to another pair of shoes are called transgender people. People whose shoes fit from day one are called cisgender people. So why do some people think that cisgender is a bad word or an insult? Cis and trans are just two Latin prefixes that mean on the same side of or on the other side of. The fact of the matter is that the word cisgender implies the validity of the word transgender. So if you're against the word cisgender, that means you are against transgender people.
I don't know about any of you, but to me, that analogy didn't even come close to explaining why people who don't want to be called cisgender automatically have a prejudiced disposition to all trans people. He literally yapped about the reasons why people swap genders, and then just ends with, yeah, that's why I get to call you cisgender, but you have to call me a woman. What a dumbass. Less than 1 week after that botched analogy took place, Nick was out getting lunch when a group of kids approached him and called him sir.
I am not, sir.
No, you're not.
you want to say that to the camera? Hundreds and hundreds of people watching you?
Me right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no.
No, go ahead. You just called me a man. Don't be a coward. Don't be a coward. Yeah, you're a coward. Come on over. Say what you got to say to me. Oh, you don't want to call me a man to my face? Come on over. What do you got to say? What do you got to say about transgender people?
I didn't know you were trans.
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't know you was trans.
Go ahead.
I did not know this man was trans. Wait, what do you go by? What do you go by?
Does it matter?
It does, because I'm asking you.
Say what you got to say. There's a lot of people watching you.
The real question is, it doesn't matter if you're transgender or not. Are you with that? Are you with the people that march and be like, "We're coming for your kids"? That's where it's bad. That's when it gets bad. Oh, you need to stay up.
What can you? What's your name?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm K.
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 K-A-Y.
K-A-Y.
Okay, and what's your name?
I don't have to give you any of mine.
You certainly don't. What's your
My
name?
name's JJ, and it's y'all think a cult. It's like LGBTTL cult or something.
As you just saw, Nick literally told these kids to come back over because he wanted a confrontation for his TikTok. Now watch this.
Can I ask why you didn't step in? What you were standing and watching? They called me a pedophile. They were verbally harassing me.
I didn't hear him call you that. I didn't know. I honestly had no idea what conversation you were having.
This grown man was acting tough with a bunch of preteens and told them to come back when they began to walk away, then literally went and cried to restaurant staff that they should have defended him. You can't have it both ways, Nick. You don't get to instigate confrontations and then cry when the confrontation happens. You look dumb. But Nick doesn't see it that way. So obviously he kept this hypocritical attitude in everything he did moving forward. That became especially evident to me when I saw this video of Nick complaining about Bible verses on his In-N-Out cup.
That is a cardboard fry. Who the heck made these fries? Ew. This bite has got to be better, right? It's covered in everything. Ew. Get out of here with the... I'm not even gonna... Nugget, just know you're not missing out. These fries are dry. They're like sticky. They're like... It's not that good. Mid. It's not even close to worth the hype. And people think this is the best place. It's a burger that, like, I could finish, but I don't want to finish. This ain't worth it. The milkshake is the best thing. But also, really don't like that it put a Bible verse on my food without my consent. I don't want to eat John 3:16. Get your John 3:16 out of here. God. Ew. Ew to all of this. Ew.
Guest number 27, please.
It wasn't the mere act of Nick whining about Bible verses that made this so dumb. It's the fact that he went to a Christian-owned company and then complained about Bible verses on the cups. That would be like me going to a trans-owned restaurant and then complaining that there were trans and LGBTQ posters on the walls. I would be objectively a retard for that. On top of that, why on earth does this man think a privately owned company needs his consent before putting a design on their merchandise? I don't even think I need to explain why this is stupid. I'm pretty sure all of you watching will agree that type of thinking is just plain delusional. Now let's take a quick break from the mental retard and enjoy a compilation of Nick overreacting to being misgendered.
Looks like he's having a nice piece
She, her. Yeah, it's okay. It's all good.
But it was not all good.
I use she, her pronouns. I'm not sir. Yeah, like it's like a knife in the heart. I did specifically ask ahead of time not to be called sir. Yeah, I'm just gonna go. Yeah, the sweet water starts like, okay, not.
I'm so sorry. I apologize.
It's just always like a knife. It always hurts every single time. I was wondering if there's a manager I could talk to about something that happened. Yeah, I was called sir. Okay. It just really sucks every time it happens. I don't need to be called ma'am. I just need to not be called sir, you know? Thank you. Did you call me sir? Hey, I just want to tell you that the person who gave me this called me sir. Called me sir. It's just like, it kind of just hurts a lot to get called sir.
Oh, sorry about that.
Very good. Thank you so much.
No, yeah. Thank you. I'm not a sir. Nothing like a good misgendering. It is a knife in the gut when I get called sir. I feel like I need to tell him. I need to tell him that hurt. It hurts more it's not intentional because it means like this is sir to him. I know you didn't mean it, but I'm not a sir. I'm so sorry. It's okay. I know you didn't mean it. It's just, you know, it hurts. I know when people clock me, it's fine, but like it does kind of hurt. Thank you. I'm not sir. Not sir. Not sir. But the guy who dropped the food off, he called me sir twice in a row. Thank you, I appreciate that.
I think it was important to show you that video because as of today, it's his biggest video yet with over 38 million views. So this post showcasing Nick asking to speak with restaurant managers over being called sir is how the majority of TikTok found him. Not a great look. Most of them genuinely seem like they did it by accident, yet Nick still decides to try and get them into trouble. After seeing all the hate he got from that previous video, you'd think Nick would try and kick the new year off on a better note, but you would be wrong. Instead, on January 15th of 2024, he chose to make a video in which he assumed Kurt Cobain's gender.
I bet you didn't know that Kurt Cobain was probably trans. Here's why. First off, Kurt wore a lot of women's clothing. And when asked about this, they replied that they wore dresses all the time because they felt comfortable and free. And just look at Kurt in these pictures. They look so happy. And in an interview about their childhood, Kurt said that they mostly hung out around girls and that at one point they thought they might be gay. Many trans people who don't have the vocabulary yet to express their gender identity will describe what they're feeling as being gay. That's exactly what I did in middle school. Kurt is also quoted as saying that they identify more with the feminine than with the masculine. This is clear proof that Kurt did not identify with the gender they were assigned at birth. And the most convincing evidence that Kurt was trans was in an early version of Nirvana's All Apologies lyrics, where Kurt wrote, "Let me grow some." That is clear-cut gender dysphoria. And of course, Kurt will never be able to tell us themselves, but the evidence makes it pretty obvious they were trans. That might be why Kurt's no longer with us. Maybe Kurt knew that we weren't ready.
Obviously, this is just wrong to do because not only is it hypocritical with Nick's whole philosophy of not assuming people's gender, but the dude is literally dead. If you think being a self-centered hypocrite that pushes rumors about dead people is bad, well, it's only gonna get worse from here. On May 9th of 2024, Nick posted a video of himself at Disney while he talks about getting his cock and removed.
I'm gonna get banned from Disney. I swear, we're about to get banned from Disney. Last summer, I got my cake pops removed, and the plan up until recently was to get my marshmallow wand reconfigured into a marshmallow tunnel. Unfortunately, a few weeks ago, I noticed some hair regrowth on my marshmallow wand. That's bad because the outside of the wand is what becomes the inside of the tunnel, so you don't want hair growing there, or else it's very uncomfortable. So I talked to my surgeon and he said that it would be best to postpone the procedure until after hair removal is complete. This is obviously disappointing because I was really excited to have a marshmallow tunnel sooner. That being said, it is still happening. We're just not sure when it's happening. Hair removal is a fickle thing and it's really hard to predict when it will finish. But my hair removal technician thinks it will be before the end of the year. So, fingers crossed. Oh, go. Want some? My mom's here, by the way. The marshmallow tunnel.
I don't know why this man couldn't wait till he was at home to talk about this. It makes no sense why he had to be at Disney around a bunch of prepubescent kids while talking about cutting off his cock and balls. The only thought process that adds some sense to it is assuming he knew it would cause controversy and get him views. Aside from the location, his apparel is also a bit off-putting. He's wearing Minnie Mouse ears and a Disney t-shirt, which is 100% gonna lead to more kids watching his content. They see Minnie Mouse ears, a Disney shirt, and a crazy looking man. Of course they're gonna watch that. So as a recap, he's making a video talking about removing his cock and balls while at a children's entertainment center and wearing children's clothes. You're entitled to make your own conclusions, but I don't know, man, that's pretty f***ing weird to me. And most people in the comments agreed on that point, even asking him not to make these types of videos in such child-focused locations. But instead of listening to these suggestions, Nick chose to double down and make a video discussing transitioning while he impersonated the largest children's YouTuber alive, Miss Rachel.
Hi friends! Today we're gonna talk about something super important, what it means to be transgender. It's a big word, but I promise that it's easy to understand. Ready to learn? The first thing I want you to do is close your eyes. Now think, do you feel like a boy, a girl, or a little bit of both? Do you have your answer? Great. Now I want you to imagine that everyone keeps telling you that you're something else, even though in your heart, you know who you are. Wouldn't that make you sad inside? People who feel like this are transgender. And if you're not transgender, it's super easy to be friends with someone who is. Let's take our imaginary friend Theo, for example. One day you notice that Theo starts wearing girl clothes instead of boy clothes, and then they tell you that they want to be called Luna instead of Theo. This is so exciting for our friend Luna because they finally get to be their true self. And if you accidentally call Luna by their old name, make sure to say a big sorry and that you'll do better next time. As you can see, transgender people are just like you and me. They're our friends.
No matter what you thought about the Disney video, this is undeniably an attempt to target kids with his content, and naturally he received a ton of backlash in the comments for this. You'd think that someone like Nick, who is so adamant that people listen to his suggestions and call him she, her, would be more open to listening to suggestions from the people watching his content, but you'd be very wrong. Instead, he chose to make another Miss Rachel video.
Hi friends! Today we're talking about something super cool called pronouns. Pronouns are little words that help us talk about each other. We all have pronouns. Some people use he and him, like this bear. He's so cuddly. Some people use she and her, like this cat. She's so playful. Some people use they and them. Oh, like this frog. They like to hop. Can you say he's so cuddly? Good. Can you say she's so playful? Good. Can you say they like to hop? Good job. And it's important to ask people what their pronouns are because you can't always tell by what they look like. Here's how you do it. Hi, my name is Lily. My pronouns are she and her. What about you? Then the other person can tell you their name and pronouns. Using the right pronouns makes everyone feel happy and included. It shows that you care about them. Plus, it's an easy way to be a good friend.
Thankfully, Nick wasn't talking about his cock and balls in these children's videos like he did at Disney, but again, I think it's pretty insane that when people ask him to stop making Miss Rachel themed content that targets children, he completely ignores it. But then he really expects people to listen when he asks them to use his pronouns. It doesn't get more hypocritical than that. As of today, Nick Contino is still actively making content under the alias LillyTino, still being misgendered on purpose, and still making himself out to be a victim for literally no reason.
I know you wanted to sit at this table, but we have reservations, so
Oh.
we're going to have to move you to a smaller table.
Okay.
Are you having lunch with us today? Okay. So I can move you over here, then the server will get you started in a few minutes.
Okay. Are all of these taken?
Yeah, the bigger tables have to be open because we have a lot of reservations today.
Okay,
So
what time?
They're all different times, so we're about to set up this section for a party that's coming in.
Oh, okay.
So
What time do you think they'll come in? Just because they'll probably be pretty loud, I would imagine, right?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I just don't want to set up at a table if it's going to get loud in like 30 minutes. Maybe it'd
It'll
be.
be loud everywhere in the cafe.
Okay.
Yeah. But so would you like to still sit and eat? Because I can move you over here.
Just so I know, like, when do you think like this will be popping? I guess because it's like
We're
empty
about
now.
to
So.
hit our lunch rush right now. We
Okay.
have a lot of reservation. It's the holiday. People on break, so we expect to be busy all day.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I can move you over here. It's probably gonna be the quietest right now.
Okay. I think I'll probably just leave.
Okay.
It's completely empty in here, by the way. Like completely empty. Someone sat me here, and I was like, "Can I take the bigger table?" And they were like, "Yeah, absolutely." I'm pretty sure she just kicked me out because she didn't like me or something. Lots of reservations, they say. Lots of reservations. One of the reservations? Oh, I don't know what the reservations are, but you can't be here. Basically, do you want to move to like a small table that is bad lighting? And even though we already told you could sit at this table.
Overall, I think LillyTino is one of the worst representations for the transgender community that could possibly exist. He's hypocritical, obsessed with talking about his cock and balls, discusses transgenderism and sex while dressed as a preschool entertainment icon, and constantly instigate issues only to play the victim later on. All of this, combined with his easy to aggravate personality, is exactly how LillyTino became the most hated trans TikToker ever. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you want to see my source for the video, check out my Twitter, which is at redmanspeaksyt. I'll have all the links posted there. I love you, have a good one, peace.